I was a 12-year-old when I read The Giver, and it really did have an effect on me. So, shout out to Miss Frost, my English teacher, Spillane Middle School. But I carried that book with me and that story for a long while. And the movie was also great. So I guess I just wanted to begin with saying thank you for writing that because that's a really powerful story.
Thank you. You know, that book was written in 1993, and I can't do the math very quickly, but that's 7 plus 25. That's 32 years ago. And yet, every day I get mail from people about that book. It's either 13-year-olds who are reading it in school, as you did, but these days, more and more often, it's adults who have thought about it, as you have in years. I don't know how old you are, how many years it's been for you.
24 now.
Okay, and so you read it when it was brand new.
I read it a year before the movie came out. And so I
Yeah,
was I was pleasantly surprised to see the film come out as well.
uh-huh. Anyway, now I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. Oh, so these letters I get are from adults by and large, and they're only now reassessing what they got from that book and rethinking it. And some of them are very profound. I think part of it has to do with the complicated and troubling political times we're in, which are making everybody think more about governance and how it works and the compromises we make. At any rate, I'm delighted to hear that it stayed with you all these years.
It did, yeah.
Often people return to it because they have kids who are reading it now.
Mm.
Anyway, so it's had a very long life. And when I sat down in 1992 to write it, I don't remember how many books I'd written before that. But overall, now I've written 52. So it probably fell in the middle of that. And I had no way of knowing the effect that it would have. That it would be, it's now published in 30 some different countries. And I hear from kids, even I have talked by Zoom to kids in Iran
Wow.
and Nepal and Japan and everywhere. And all because of that book, which somehow, I couldn't have planned this, somehow has touched an awful lot of people.
Yeah.
I hope in good ways. I'm sorry. I should have in in preparing for our podcast, which I didn't do. So I'm not prepared for this. I should have put it out some so that I could read you some of the things that people have said, things I've tried to respond to. Just yesterday, I was responding to one from a man. I don't know how old he was, but he wasn't a kid. And his letter, email, but essentially a letter, concluded with, "Please help me."
Hmm.
And it puts me in a kind of unnerving position to feel as though people depend on me for something that I'm unfortunately not able to provide outside of a story that they've reacted to.
Yeah. It's really surreal for me to talk to you right now because just a couple years ago on this very podcast, I was talking to my friend Toby about what I love so much about The Giver is, especially when Jonas is escaping, what carries him forward with Gabriel is memory. It is the strength of memories that carries him forward. And that's something that we all have access to.
Yeah,
If we
yeah.
remember, where we've been in our lives and even from the experiences of others, it can give us the strength to continue, to persist.
I think, every book starts out, well, I can't speak for other authors, but for me, Every book starts out with a vague concept, not a full-blown plot, but just a feeling that I want to write about some concept. And memory was the concept that triggered the writing of The Giver. Another book I wrote, unconnected to the Giver, started with the concept of dreams. And I think memories and dreams are two things that fascinate me because they are so individual. Nobody else has the same memories you do, and nobody else has the same dreams that you do. And so, with that particular book, and that concept came to me because my parents were old at that time. They've long since died, but and my mother, her memories were intact until she died, but my father was losing his, and so I was able to watch that process with the two of them at the same time. My mother, again and again, though she was in a hospital bed at the end of her life in a nursing home, again and again returned and wanted to talk about the things that had most profoundly affected her, one of which was the death of her first child, my sister, my older sister. And those were, of course, very sad memories. My father, at the same time, was not in as poor health as my mother. He was up shuffling around in an assisted living place, but he was losing his memory, and I realized he had forgotten my sister, his first child, and he had forgotten the days, the weeks surrounding and leading up to her death. And in forgetting that, he had made himself, not that he did it on purpose, made himself very comfortable. He didn't have to think about or relive or remember those terribly sad days. And so it's something that affects all of us, as you were just saying.